I'm dying. It's a fact. There's no need for a doctor to tell me. That farewell performance was something I insisted on doing. I don't want to disappear silently. I have to say goodbye in person.
Happy birthday, dear Minnie. Happy birthday to you.
Yay! Ready? Blow out the candle. Blow. 3.
Good morning.
Is that me? What's that?
Dada. Say good morning.
Good morning.
When rock legend Ozzy Osbourne faced his final days, everyone thought they knew how the story would end. But the Prince of Darkness had one last surprise. He knew he was fading, but instead of disappearing, he demanded to go out with a bang. He reunited with Black Sabbath for one last farewell, a final thank you to the fans who made him a god.
From the bottom of my heart.
But his most important performance wasn't for the crowd. It was for his family.
Kelly, you know I love you more than anything in the world.
Fuck up, you're not married, boy.
Nothing would make me happier than to spend the rest of my life in front of your family and all of our friends. Kelly, will you marry me?
For decades, Ozzy Osbourne was a myth, a legend forged in the fiery heart of heavy metal. He was the frontman of Black Sabbath, the unpredictable madman who defined chaos on stage.
Where is the cat?
He was the man who bit the head off a bat, a walking symbol of rebellion. His life was a whirlwind of sold-out arenas, notorious parties, and a reputation that would have broken a lesser man. He lived a life faster and harder than almost anyone on the planet. But behind the madness, a different story was unfolding. The anchor in his storm was Sharon.
What do you want to do this New Year's?
Whatever you want to do.
Just sit to
You're
you,
the
what-
leader of our gang. You tell me and I'll
Darling,
do it.
I'll go wherever you want to go.
Give me 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
You feel immortal.
No. I feel lucky to be alive. I'm not immortal, but, because I've done some pretty damn crazy stuff in my life.
She was his manager, his partner, and the one person who could navigate his chaos. And in 2002, she masterminded a move that no one saw coming.
What's the movie about?
Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. Thank you.
With the launch of the MTV show The Osbournes, the world was invited into his home. Suddenly, the Prince of Darkness wasn't just a rock god. He was a bumbling, lovable, and fiercely protective father trying to figure out a TV remote. The show was a phenomenon. It revealed that beneath the leather and eyeliner was a dedicated family man whose love for his wife and children was the most real thing in his life. His devotion to Sharon was legendary. After decades together, he still looked to her as his guide, the true leader of their gang.
He's just... You can't dislike him. He has the best smile in the world.
But the rock and roll lifestyle eventually caught up with him. In 2019, Ozzy revealed he was battling Parkinson's disease. Then a devastating fall in his home led to multiple surgeries and constant agonizing pain. The man who once seemed immortal was now facing his own mortality. He confessed to being in Doomtown, trapped in a cycle of pain and despair. But Sharon saw the darkness creeping in and knew exactly what he needed. That reason was family. In his final years, Ozzy's greatest role wasn't on a stage, but as Papa. His grandchildren became his world, a source of pure joy that cut through the pain. He spent every moment he could soaking in their love, finding a new purpose not in the roar of a crowd, but in the laughter of a child. And in one final beautiful moment, he got to see his family's legacy continue. In the end, Ozzy Osbourne's story wasn't just about becoming the Prince of Darkness. It was about finding his way back to the light. He dedicated his final show's earnings to charity, a final act of generosity. His true legacy isn't just the timeless music he created, but the incredible love he built with his family. For years, Ozzy lived like there was no tomorrow. Every headline, every outrageous story, the world thought it knew who he was. But behind the screaming crowds and flashing lights, there was a man battling demons most of us couldn't imagine. Addiction, depression, self-doubt, they nearly destroyed him.
It's the one and only Ozzy Osbourne. Good evening, Ozzy.
What?
Good evening, Ozzy.
Hello there.
How are you?
Fine.
At one point, even Ozzy wondered if he'd make it to the next sunrise. But there was something inside him that refused to quit. Call it stubbornness, call it survival. But deep down, Ozzy had a reason to fight. He didn't want his story to end as a tragedy. And slowly, he began to claw his way back from the darkness. Rehab, treatment, forgiveness. It wasn't easy and it wasn't perfect. But every time he stumbled, there was one person pulling him back: Sharon. She wasn't just his wife. She was his anchor, his protector, and his greatest believer. Ozzy said it himself, without her, there would be no Ozzy Osbourne. And when the final chapter of his life began, that bond became stronger than ever. Ozzy often said Sharon saved his life, not once, but countless times. Through addictions, near-death moments, and scandals that could have ended anyone else, she never gave up on him. She fought for him when he couldn't fight for himself. And even in his weakest moments, when the pain became unbearable and the music faded, her hand was the one he held on to. In interviews, his voice would break when he spoke about her. "She's my backbone," he said. "I wouldn't be here without her." And as the years passed and his health declined, their love only grew stronger. No stage, no screaming crowd, no flashing lights. Just two people who had weathered every storm and still chose each other every single day. And family, that was the anchor that kept him steady in the final chapters. He found his greatest happiness not in arenas filled with fans, but in the laughter of his grandchildren, in quiet mornings with Sharon, in moments where life slowed down just enough for him to realize what truly mattered. He had been the Prince of Darkness, the wild heart of heavy metal, but in the end, all he wanted was the warmth of home, the love of his wife, and the sound of his family's laughter. That was his final, greatest encore. He was a husband, a father, a grandfather, and a legend who proved that even after a lifetime of darkness, the brightest light can be found waiting at home.
Thank you from the bottom of my heart.